Welcome back to the Mings 28 YouTube channel. So this time I want to talk about something that's like not really ever talked about. I mean, it's like a complaint or a thing we see all the time of like teachers talking about how little they're paid and all this stuff, but you don't really ever see as a kid going through like school, right? You don't really ever see just how bad it is until you're like an adult, and even then, it's like something that's really in the background. And that's like how shitty teachers are paid. Being a teacher in the United States is like one of the shittiest jobs you could straight up ever have. Like, it used to be a good job, it used to be something that was worth it. Nowadays, I feel like it's just, I mean, you're basically getting all these college degrees, right? To get paid straight up pennies on the dollar per student. It's like babysitters can make more money than you, which is like insane because you basically are a babysitter. I mean, you spend 8 hours of the day acting like the mother or father for like, 25, 30 something freaking kids. And it's just wild. And you are, in a lot of cases, like the only ounce of home training that these kids are going to get is going to come from you, which is insane. And another reason why anytime someone ever says, hey, you know a lot of shit, you should be a teacher, like, I feel like I'd listen a lot if you were a teacher. Like, I feel like my kids would enjoy your lessons. And I'm like, no, your kids wouldn't. Because, like, I will murder a kid, okay? For the amount of disrespect they get, for the little amount of pay they get, I will straight up chuck your child out of a window, okay? I will punt your child like a fucking soccer ball, okay? Like a straight up football. I will turn into an NFL kicker because your kid told me to go F myself, okay? And don't say that shit doesn't happen. Today's kids are fucking, let's be honest, they're baby kids, okay? They're fucking Cabbage Patch, ignorant ass motherfucking goddamn kids, okay? It is what it is, okay? They're kids, right? I can't blame them. That's their parents. My parents, like, I don't know. I come from, I guess, maybe this is like slight boomer of me, even though I'm only 28 fucking years old. I come from a generation, like, just like some things you just did not fucking do, okay? And like talking back to your teacher, sure, you might have did it under your breath, but like you didn't really go all the way the fuck in like an asshole. Okay, you talk shit with your friends after class, or you gossip and shit and joke, but you didn't really like. Some of these kids are like straight up just like doing fucking battles with their goddamn teachers, like straight up fucking D&D quests with their fucking teachers, and their teacher is the final fucking boss for some fucking reason. Like, it's insane. Like, you've all seen the fucking YouTube videos of like kids just straight up saying like I fucking run this shit, or laying hands on teachers. I feel like if a teacher gets their hands laid on, like gets hands laid on them, especially at their salary, I feel like you should be legally allowed to beat that kid within an inch of death, right? Like, that's just insane. That's another thing if like the teacher is just straight up ignorant and stupid. But a lot of cases, it's just these kids are fucking like untrained whatsoever. The teachers are so fucking unpaid. It's ridiculous. And apparently, it's about to get worse. So, according to this like CNN article, apparently a lot of the pandemic funding that was put into the school system for like when COVID hit is essentially about to run out. And it was like one of the largest investments across the country for education from K through 12 in recent years. And apparently this stuff is all about to run out, right? And if once this federal funding ends, a lot of these schools have to essentially, they can't like make up for the shortcome, like the shortfall, right? So like American education is awful, and it's awful for one big massive major fucking region. Funding comes from the area around you and is not like universal. So like your starting budget comes from the area around you. So if you live in the fucking hood, your school's gonna have hood level salaries. Okay, it's gonna have hood level fucking support from the school board, right? if you live in, this upscale ass fucking area where every fucking neighborhood is fucking gated in and you're fucking wannabe Calabasas rejects and shit wherever you are and this and that, and like, your parents each drive cars that are like $250,000 or $200,000 or $100,000 or more, then you're gonna have more than likely like a decent school, right? You're going to have pretty good funding for that school because the taxes are going to create the funding for that school. And a lot of other countries, especially a lot of OECD nations, like popular, or not popular, but like wealthy Western countries, this isn't like how this shit operates, right? It's like pulled all into a general fund and dispersed equally to get all the standards up and ensure that like the best product comes out of every single school, right? And that's not how it's done in America. It's done by what's around you. So a lot of these schools that were basically on that fucking hood budget, right? That were, the teachers were getting paid basically enough to buy 10, 40 ounces a fucking week, is essentially, it's about to disappear. And so the way they're going to make up for it is they're just going to start fucking cutting hella teachers, okay? Hella positions, hella teachers, the whole 9 yards. And in an education system that was already shit, right? Okay, like, I remember, like, one time my cousin was talking about something they were learning in middle school. And I'm not that older than her, okay? She was born early 2000s. I was born 1995. Why in the fuck were they being taught that, like, Robin Hood was, like, a fucking real person? Like, this is the level of American education, right? And I'm pretty sure that history teacher was just like, this is stupid as fuck. But that was like the guideline that they were fucking given, right? Like, they were supposed to go over these points and then they could develop the lesson plan to help them go over these points. They don't get a say in what these fucking points are. And that's just like pure fucking insanity to me, because Robin Hood was somehow a real person. And for those of you that know, you know that Robin Hood is likely a fucking amalgamation of like 7, 8, 9 different fucking people that lived in England over like the span of like 300 years. Okay, so it's insane that like they were taught that this one person was a fucking real person. Like, I just don't understand, especially for like these rural communities. Okay, some of this federal funding basically like tripled or quadrupled their budget. So you get places like Missoula, Montana. The public school district is considering cutting 33 teaching positions and 13 administrative positions, including its special education director and fine arts director, as it faces budget shortfalls. So essentially, band can go fuck itself. Theater arts can go fuck itself. Anything to do with those two things can go fuck itself. Any type of art can go fuck itself. And do any of your children have like Down syndrome? Well, you better move the fuck out of Montana because we're not funding that shit, okay? And that's just wild to me. And it's not just rural areas that are affected. You got shit like in Arlington, Texas, the public school district will cut 275 positions at the end of the school year that were funded by the federal pandemic AIDS funds. Like, we're so fucked in America education wise, okay, that it takes federal funding packages on a historic fucking level because of some goddamn wild fucking disease event in order to fucking properly staff our fucking school districts, our fucking schools. Like, we have to basically be facing possible fucking widespread goddamn I Am Legend style living if things truly get out of hand, for the government to be like, maybe we should do something. Maybe we should provide funding for this shit. Like, I don't understand how America has made it to this point. It makes zero fucking sense because our education system has just gotten shit year over year over year. And the biggest reason is shit is funding. And it's because these teachers are paid shit and none of this shit is changing or being addressed whatsoever. Like, it's like it seems to be counterintuitive to be concerned about teacher layoffs when many districts have been struggling to fill open positions. You wanna know why? Okay, so when I first went to school, right, I was supposed to be going history with a teacher's license, okay? And then we had this thing where they were talking about like salaries and whatnot in North Carolina. and ways that you can like get your student loans paid off by just being a teacher, right? And I was thinking, shit, lit, okay, because I'm going to a private institute. Okay, I went to Campbell, and I'm like, this shit's gonna be expensive, so sure, I'll be a fucking teacher. And then I looked at the fucking salary, and I was like, fuck that. Be a teacher for like 10 years just to get your shit fucking like released and like straight up just have no way out and be struggling and also dealing with somebody's fucking kids. Fuck that. So of course they're struggling to fill open positions because the pay is shit. And you wanna know how shit it is? Let's just look at my state, okay? Just gonna look at my state, North Carolina. $53,000 and 664. And I'm pretty sure that this from USA Facts is, I'm pretty sure this is like your fucking gross. So post taxes, you're really taking home like probably like 42. Maybe even 40. So like it was insane for me to take that deal and be like, yeah, I'll go be a fucking teacher, slave away for fucking $40,000 dealing with somebody's fucking kids. And also another thing people don't get, a lot of these teachers, you are only paid during the school year, right? So that like 3-4 month gap of summer, you're fucked. Okay? You're shit fucked. Alright? You gotta go fucking sell jalapeno poppers at the fucking local Chili's in order to fucking make it by, right? You gotta go like mop fucking bathroom floors at a fucking office space with other cucked fucking adults to make it by through the summer. Or like sell your ass on OnlyFans and hope to God that like some dad at the school who's going through a midlife crisis doesn't suddenly fucking find your OnlyFans page and then proceed to fucking beat his meat to you, and then his wife finds it, and next thing you know, she's like jealous and pissed off, and so she comes to the school, reports it, and you're fucking fired. And then your 10 years is down the drain, and your student loans are still fucked. And like you get some areas that like, oh, you're like, oh, New York, you could go up there and be a school teacher for $92,222. First off, New York school system's a fucking joke, okay? Those schools are over fucking loaded, over fucking crowded. There's so many of them they don't even name the motherfuckers. They just call them like public school 128. And your classes are fucking full as fuck. You got like 30, 40 fucking students in New York, right? And that 92,000, this is a place where a decent apartment, okay, a decent like 2-bedroom like you would find in say North Carolina, a decent 2-bedroom in North Carolina is like fucking $1,700, right? In New York, that same fucking apartment would be like $3,200. So 92,000 might sound great. It might sound like, oh fuck, let me get a teacher's license and go to New York. Motherfucker, you are fucked. Same thing with California. The cost of living is like this $87,000 if you really like adjust it for cost of living. That like someone say like me in North Carolina would understand is really basically $40,000 a year, maybe 45. It's insane how shit the teachers are paid in this country. Like, especially if I was in one of these rural areas, I'm not going to be a teacher in bumfuck Idaho for $54,000 a fucking year. I'm in fucking Idaho. I came here, got off the plane, and wanted to, like, video game myself. Okay? I wanted to fucking proceed to the nether realm, to the shadow realm on my fucking own just because I landed in Idaho. Let alone stay here forever and fucking teach? Are you insane? It makes zero. South fucking Dakota, you want to pay $49,000 per year for me to teach in South fucking Dakota? It takes me 6 hours to get to work because I have to drive through every fucking back road and side country road looking at fields full of fucking like corn or some shit. Like, this is insanity, the fucking teacher pay in America. And then we wonder why students are shitty critical thinkers, unable to take tests, hate fucking school, because the teachers fucking hate school. like the only way you can make it by as a teacher in America, let's just be realistic here, is either you're selling ass on OnlyFans, right? Okay, nothing wrong with that, but it's gonna be something wrong with that once some father jerks it off and finds out that his fucking and his wife finds out. Okay, it's gonna be a problem then. B, you're working like two jobs even while working as a teacher, which is insanity because you also have like after school meetings, preschool like assignments you have to do, after school assignments you have to do. You know, you got events and shit that you gotta be involved in and all this other stuff. So that could be fucking damn near impossible. Or C, you're living with someone that makes a shit ton of fucking money to compensate for what should be like in North Carolina. I believe teachers should your starting salary should be in North Carolina 80K. I genuinely believe that shit. You are breeding the future of society. Okay, you are bringing it up. The future of society is literally its success or failure is hinging on whether you could do your job. I want you solely focused on that shit. 80K per year, and I believe that like they should get a salary when it's the summer months, something that at least covers fucking expenses. Like okay, so you give them 80K per year for like 9 months, and then you also give them like a stipend or some shit like twice during that like 3 month period of like I don't know 6,000 or something to just again like cover the basic fucking expenses to get them fucking through. And for God's sakes, give them a fucking budget to buy fucking crayons so little Jimmy can fucking shove a goddamn white crayon up his fucking nose, and little Kelsey can fucking sniff up a goddamn jelly bean like she's doing cocaine from Scarface. I mean, what the fuck are we doing as a country? Like for teachers to be paid basically on average fucking dog shit. Okay? Like dog shit salaries. It makes 0 sense. Like this position should be nowhere. There is nowhere this position should be less than 80K a year. Especially for all the shit you have to get to be a teacher. So I don't understand this shit at all. America's just straight fucked. We are absolutely fucked. And we wonder why everyone's fucking stupid. It's because our teachers are basically ready to fucking like in the world the moment they start teaching. It makes 0 sense. But anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. Appreciate you guys watching.